into this enemy because only Diana deals AP. Look at it, look at that. Oh, look at that ultimate damage. Look at that. You see that? Did you guys just see that? I hope you guys can see my happy face right now. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video, and in today's video I have the craziest troll build ever. This is what I like to call the nuking mushroom troll build every 7 seconds. Jesus Christ, that's the worst name that I've ever thought about. But let me just give you a quick give you a few disclaimers and tell you some stuff about this build. First disclaimer, this build is not very good. Although it can work, it's not necessarily a good build, that's why it's a troll build. Secondly, this build is mainly focused on your ultimate. Like, the whole idea is to deal insane damage with your ultimate, and you will deal insane damage with your ultimate with this build. Third of all, you are genuinely able to place down like 25 mushrooms or something throughout the entire map with this build in the late game. And yes, 25, maybe even more. So, how do you build it? How do you play it? We're going to be talking about all of that in today's video. You can skip to the gameplay if you want to immediately. First of all, I'm going to explain how to build Teemo. I'm also going to quickly show you how to do the proper Teemo build. So, how do you build Teemo? Start with the Leandries. This is the best item to have for your ultimate because your ultimate not only applies damage on a big area, it also slows the enemy. So you're literally going to be doubling the effect from the Leandries. So you're going to be burning 2% of their HP instead of 1. So that's really, really good, of course. And when you hit an enemy just once with your basic attack, it says deal 1.2% more damage for each second in combat. You're going to be in combat very easily for a very long time, even if you only hit one basic attack, as I said, because you're going to be dealing continuous damage. So you're going to be in combat for a long time. So Leandry's perfect item. Always, always, always get Leandry's first item on Teemo. If you're doing a troll build, if you're not doing a troll build, just get it. This is the best item. So for the troll build, second item, Awakened Soul Stealer. The whole idea is obviously ability haste. The item gives you 25 ability haste and 15 more ability haste on your ultimate if you kill enemies, which you will up until the late game, right? So essentially this item is going to give you 40 ability haste on your ultimate, which is insane. The normal Teemo build, by the way, if you want to go for a normal Teemo build, boom, you go for the Gnasher's Tooth. You know, this is the best build on Teemo because Gnasher's Tooth also gives you ability haste and it gives you attack speed. It's just better. Like, I'm not going to try to convince you guys that Awakened Soul Stealer is better because it's not. It's just meant to make it more fun because you're going to nuke the enemy with your ultimate. You're going to be able to place down like many more ultimates than normal. Third item, you go for the Rabadon's Death Cap. You know, the damage is just great. Fourth item, it depends. Most often, you're gonna go for the Void Staff. And then, oh, my mother is calling me. Let me just hang up. I'll call her after the video. Don't worry, guys. More often than not, you're gonna be going for the Void Staff for fourth item because you need to shred through red tanks. And then as your last item, the Green Book. You know, Green Book is always the item that you want to go for. Never something like an Infinity Orb. I mean, okay, no. You can go for a Crystalline Reflector. This one is actually pretty good on Teemo because with this build, you're going to be spamming your ultimate. So you're constantly going to be stacking up the Crystalline Reflector. So, you know, Crystalline Reflector is doable, but generally the Green Book is going to be better because it gives you more damage, it gives you HP, it gives you the grievous wounds. It's just a really good item. And on top of that, it gives you the flat armor penetration, which allows you to deal even more damage to their squishy targets. For the boots, always Ionian Boots of Lucidity. Don't even ask, don't even comment, Ionian Boots of Lucidity. And for your enchantment, so on Teemo, in 95% of the game, Stasis Enchant is the best. Now, especially with this build, and the reason is, you can basically throw down mushrooms around you, or on top of yourself, sorry, and when you're almost dead, boom, Stasis Enchant. So the enemy is going to be walking into your mushrooms, taking a load of damage and being slowed by a lot while you're in your Stasis Enchant. You can go for the Protobelt to go for a bit more aggressive play. You can go for the Quicksilver if the enemy has a lot of CC, but as I said, Stasis Enchant is generally going to be much better on Teemo. For your runes, you go for Ari. And with the troll build, honestly, you could go for Conquer, but like, you know what the thing is with Teemo? Without Ari, you're gonna suck early game. Because Teemo can actually utilize Ari twice with one attack if you didn't know already. If the enemy is close to you, your Ari is actually gonna jump to the enemy twice because you're gonna be burning the enemy. That is why Ari is so good on Teemo. So you're really gonna need it, and every time an enemy steps into one of your traps, boom, your Ari is gonna move to that enemy too, right? Like, it's just a really good one on Teemo. Second rune, Like here, the only reason that I'm going for Gathering Storm is for the troll build. This is not what you want to go for on Teemo. Gathering Storm is gonna make your mushrooms do even more damage in the late game. Like normally you would want to go for weakness on Teemo or brutal for the early game, but I really like weakness because your first ability applies a weakness and of course your ultimate. So you're constantly gonna be making the enemies take more damage. But yeah, for this build, we're going for Gathering Storm. Again, it's a troll build. Third one, you really need the Adaptive Carapace for the early game. Like, they nerfed Teemo so hard, which is obviously incredibly sad. You just have to get the Adaptive Carapace. If you don't, you're gonna get absolutely destroyed in the early game. So, what am I supposed to tell you guys? You just really need the Adaptive Carapace. Fourth rune, Hunter Genius. Why? Because of the ultimate, guys. If you want to look at it normally though, Sweet Tooth is generally gonna be better, but when I normally play Teemo, I still go for the Hunter Genius. You just have to manage mana a little better, and your early game is gonna suck, but this is insane late game. Like, it's all about that ultimate with this build. For your spells, you go for Ignite and Flash. So enough about the build, let's now get into the gameplay, guys. Alright, on to the gameplay. Wait, let me just quickly tell my mom that I'm gonna call her afterwards, because I kind of feel bad. Just give me a second. I don't know if enough. Bye. Okay. By the way, I'm still doing a 15 skin giveaway. If you want to enter, put down a comment under the video. The reason that my camera is bad, by the way, is because I'm on vacation. Look at how fresh I looks, by the way. Shout out to my cousin for cutting my hair. Okay. So with this Teemo build, I'm sorry because I just know how amazing this is gonna. I just know how amazing this is gonna be. I want to give you another disclaimer. It really doesn't work. Okay, like sure it can work, but it's not good. First of all, Teemo sucks. Okay, this is what you want to do on Teemo, by the way. You can easily outtrade the enemy. But first of all, Teemo sucks. Whichever build you go for, Teemo just sucks. Like, I hate how Riot keeps nerfing these champions. Teemo is so bad right now. Like, genuinely useless, pretty much. So, that's how I came up with this build, because you know the normal build, sure it's okay, but you cannot dominate the early game anymore because of all the nerfs. They nerfed his armor, they nerfed his early game HP, they nerfed his scaling HP as well. They nerfed so much. He's just not that strong Teemo in the early game anymore. That is why, as I said, you know, you're not gonna see me play Teemo like I used to. I actually used to be an insanely good Teemo. I mean, I'm still good at Teemo, but Teemo just sucks, right? It's basically like Jhin. So, you know, this is how you can trade with the enemy. But as you can see, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It was supposed to be an okay trade, but even the minions outtrade me. If it was the old Teemo, you would have already destroyed the Diana by now. But the new Teemo really cannot do this, especially with the Gathering Storm, of course. You know, we can't forget that. But so this build is meant for late game. You know, this build is meant for late game. You can chill in the early game, just farm up, you know, do your thing as a Teemo. You're actually going to be strong in the late game. But your team has to play around you. That's like, your team has to play around you. What I mean with that is they shouldn't just fight anywhere. Because if they fight anywhere, you are useless. You are only useful if they fight in your territory. And what I mean with your territory is the place where you've thrown your mushrooms. Let's take a look at this. One more hit. Oh, I wasn't able to get one more hit. Wait, so I'm gonna go invisible here? If I get close to her, she's dead. She's not dumb, as you can see. She didn't fall for it. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Come on, Rengar, come on! No, we couldn't kill her. That's sad. But she didn't fall for it. Players are not generally gonna fall for that. I mean, in low elo, sure. But yeah, that trick, you know, people have learned that trick now. I can tell you, though, people do still fall for it, but not very often. So yeah, with this build, as I said, it's really all about the late game. You want to throw down as many mushrooms as you can in very important spots, right? Like you want to throw your mushrooms at spots where the enemies are going to be. You want to throw your mushrooms around the dragon. You want to throw your mushrooms around the baron whenever there's going to be a fight, of course. This is what makes this build strong. You know, this is the whole power of this build, and you'll actually see what the hell is going to happen because it's crazy. It's crazy the zoning that you get with this build. Keep in mind, you never want to pick Teemo against champions like Master Yi. Let me think. There are other champions that are really good into Teemo too. So obviously the reason that Master Yi is insanely good into Teemo is because his ultimate will run right through your mushrooms, right? He can literally run right through your mushrooms and pop all of them and you don't have mushrooms anymore. Let me think, what other champions would be an insane counter to Teemo? Now, I mean, there are normal counters like Gragas, like Nasus, like, you know, Malphite. But those are the hard counters in the late game as well. Stuff like Mastery. You really want to be able to keep your mushrooms on the ground. You don't want enemies to be able to easily run through them. Champions like Mundo, for example, can also just very easily walk through your mushrooms because he's super tanky, right? He can just very easily walk through them. So you don't want to be picking Teemo into that. Like if you look at this enemy, they don't really have any champion that can easily walk through my mushroom, right? They're all going to be taking a lot of damage in my mushroom. So this is a pretty decent match to pick Teemo in. There is never a good match to pick Teemo because Teemo sucks. So let's take a look at what I'm going to do to the Diana here. This is what Teemo can do. Oh, she all-ins me. Boom, he's blinded. Oh, no, not quite enough damage. Even the array didn't kill him. He was at like 1 HP. But this is how Teemo can win lane. If you push the enemy under his turret, yeah, like Teemo just sucks. But if you push the enemy under her turret or his turret, you can then from outside range, outside of the turret range, basic attack, first ability, you know, keep doing that. Boom, 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 boom. Keep doing that and you are gonna out-trade the enemy like that. Obviously, the enemy can kill you if the enemy all-ins you, right? Like, that's the thing with Teemo. You can win that thing if the enemy doesn't really have a big all-in. But you saw there, Diana actually does have a big all-in, which is her first ability, dashing to me with the third ability, second ability to tank my damage, and then the big ultimate, right? Like, that is going to win against me. So look at what I'm going to do here. I'm going to throw my mushroom just to push out the wave fast. Your mushroom is really good at pushing out waves fast. As you can see, you know, it's pretty good. Like, I'm pushing the wave out pretty fast. So let's take a look at this mushroom right here. Why did I put down a mushroom in the lane right there? Let me tell you the exact reason. I'm going to rotate to my team. What that mushroom is going to do is when Diana pushes the lane, the mushroom is going to delay the wave. So basically, Diana's never going to get a free turret unless she stays there for a really long time. But as you can see, you know, she's not even pushing. But if she pushed, my mushroom would have. I blinded him. So he couldn't use his ultimate. You see that? You see how beautiful that is? You see this? Look at this. Oh, I killed 3 people. I literally just killed 3 people with that trap. You see how amazing Teemo can be in situations like that? Your blind is an insane tool against certain champions. You know, Yasuo's tornado is not gonna work. Darius's basic attacks are not gonna work. No one's basic attacks are gonna work, essentially, right? Like, literally no one's basic attacks. It is an insanely powerful tool. Also against champions like Master Yi. You know, Master Yi steamrolls you in the late game, but Teemo is gonna blind him for 2 seconds. Or maybe, how much is it in the late game? Maybe it's even more than 2 seconds, but utilize that blind. Even though this build is not revolved around the blind, you want to be utilizing it. You know, Diana cannot proc her Moonlight when she's blinded. Utilize this, and with a Teemo, you really need to know your limits. So what I mean with that is, when you blind an enemy, if it's an enemy that relies on basic attacks, you know, as I said, like Darius, Nasus, whatever. Like, there's a lot of champions that rely on their basic attacks. If you blind that enemy is essentially useless for the blinded duration. Like Yasuo, right? If I blind the Yasuo, for like 2 seconds, he cannot do anything to me. So that's why you can actually get close to the champion in that duration. I just died, by the way, but we'll talk about why I died here. But that's how you can get close to the champion while blinded and fight. Keep in mind though, Teemo sucks. So after the blind, you're gonna pretty much get destroyed by everyone. Okay, like everyone. Everyone is gonna destroy you because Teemo sucks so badly now. It's so sad though. Like, Teemo used to be so good, man. I think the reason that they nerfed him is because Teemo was abused in the early game, in lower elo. I mean, I was kind of abusing him in higher elo as well. So that kind of shows how good Teemo used to be. But they really overkilled it. Like, they really overdid it, in my opinion. It's actually too much. And I think we're full AP in this match too, besides Rengar. I'm not sure if the Varus, because I remember in this game the enemies bought so much magic resist. I remember that from this game. But yeah, let's take a look at how it goes. So like, as you can see, my ultimate, you know, it's not really charging up too fast. I'm just throwing it down whenever I can, you know, pushing out waves with it. In the late game, if you're full build and have full stacks of the Soul Stealer, come on, dodge it. No. As you can see, if I don't utilize my blind, I'm just dead. But if you have your full build, and I have the Awakened Soul Stealer now, if I get the full stacks and the full build with the ability haste, your ultimate is gonna be on a 7 to 8 second cooldown. Wow, that Akshan just got a quadra kill. Damn. 7 to 8 seconds, guys. Now that is a really low cooldown, especially because you can stack up to 5 mushrooms. So while you're moving around in the map, you're constantly going to be getting new mushrooms. Every 7 to 8 seconds. Every 7 to 8 seconds. You can literally spam down your mushrooms and never run out of them. Never. It's crazy how hard you can spam your ultimate, and it's also crazy how much damage it will deal. Keep in mind, however, you're generally not really going to be reaching that part of the game when you play Teemo like this, because Teemo already sucks, and playing this troll build is going to make it even harder for you to get ahead in the game. Like, as you can see, you know, it's really hard for me in this game to really do anything, but this... Now you can see I'm throwing down mushrooms. Why am I throwing down mushrooms? Because the Rift Herald is going to spawn very soon. You know, I'm just throwing down mushrooms for vision and, of course, for the mushroom. Like, the mushroom not only deals damage, it also gives you really good vision, right? Oh, they actually dodged my mushroom right there. So let's take a look at this. I'm just pretty useless. I'm just not really doing anything, you know? I'm just trying to blind the Yasuo while he's in our backline. And the blind was good, though. Look at this. And then I flashed after the blind ran out. Oh! Yeah, look at that! He couldn't see me because I was invisible. That was so amazing. He couldn't target me. He had to get into my space to target me, but he couldn't because I became invisible. That was amazing. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, now we're going for the Rabadon's Death Cap. Actually, no. No. In this game, I went for the Void Staff 3rd item because, as I said, they actually have so much magic resist for some reason. Like, the enemies are spamming magic resist, so I'm not even finishing my Rabadon's Death Cap. I'm just straight up going for the Void Staff as my 3rd item. Because it's not worth to go for a Rabadon's Death Cap, even though it gives you a lot of AP, if the enemy has a load of magic resist, which they do. So that's why I'm going for Void Staff, yes. So yeah, I'm trying to place down my ultimates in the right spots. As you can see, these are really good ultimate spots. These are amazing ultimate spots. All we have to do is fight here. And this is what I mean with playing around Teemo. Your team has to understand that, no, you don't want to fight here. No, but my team doesn't understand. We want to fight near my traps, near my mushrooms, because that's the whole power of Teemo. So I'm desperately trying to get some mushrooms here, but my team just keeps fighting here. It's just not going to work for us, as you can see. Like, we're never going to win a fight like this. We have to fight near my mushrooms. Like here you can see, you know, I'm trying to do some damage by blinding the enemy, but my blind is merely doing like 190 damage. I mean, who cares about 190 damage? Like, look at this. It's just, I am useless. It's my team doing almost everything right here. No, that's not true actually. I was doing a lot of damage, but this is just not the way to go for Teemo. Not how you want to fight. Oh my god, my Ari killed him. There we go, in my traps. Ooh. We just have to get them near my traps, and that's when it's game over, guys. Boom, 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 come on. No, come on, die. He's at 1 HP again. Why is this guy every time at 1 HP? That's so annoying. Damn. This game. Pretty unlucky, but it's okay, because this is a late game build. It's okay if you don't destroy the enemy in the early game. You know, I already have 4 stacks of my Awakened Soul Stealer. My ultimate is already on a pretty low cooldown, but it gets crazy when you max your ultimate, when you become level 13. That's when it becomes utterly crazy. Like, sure, right now I can still put down a lot of ultimates, but it's not anything crazy, right? Like, the cooldown is, I believe, around 13 seconds or something, which is still very low, but of course it's not anything crazy like 7 or 8 seconds, right? It's kind of sad that you can't blind the Rift Herald before he dashes to your third. I don't know, obviously that would be broken, but it would have been pretty funny if you can just blind it and they're like, wait, what the hell? Oh, blind him? He cannot do anything? And then I should flash away. There we go. Yeah, he flashes after me. Yeah, unfortunate. That was the right course of action that I took there. You know, I got caught by the Yasuo. That's exactly what you want to do against the Yasuo when you get caught. But yet again, Teemo sucks. You really cannot do anything else. The only thing that you could have done else is throw down your ultimates around you. Throw down your ultimate around. Wow, Veigar actually has 6k gold. That's astonishing. How does he have 6k gold in 13 minutes? Wow, never mind. And the way that you can outtrade him is you can blind him and then you wait. Then you throw down your ultimates around you and then you use your stasis enchant as well. That is why I was saying stasis enchant is really good, right? Yeah, I was only trash talking him a little bit because he was actually trash talking our jungler, who's doing really well in the game, by the way. So yeah, I have full late game Teemo build. Yeah, I'm telling my team, you know, just reinforcing them like, hey guys, we're okay if we reach the late game. I'm gonna carry. Just let me throw down some mushrooms. And now as you can see, the Baron is nearly gonna spawn. I want to put down some mushrooms in the Baron. This is questionable. This is, yeah, this is... I could already see that I was gonna int here. Yeah. Wow. I screwed up, but my Rengar's cleaning up. So what happened there, you know, should I even explain it to you guys? I went way too close to the enemy, especially with this build. Since I don't have a Nashor's Tooth, this build is incredibly weak in situations like that. What I should have done is just throw down my ultimates and wait for my team. I cannot engage like that. Not yet. I mean, of course, when you're full build with like 5 stacks of Gathering Storm, sure, you can kill an enemy like that, sure. But not right now. Like, as I said, with the Gathering Storm, with this build, with the Awakened Soul Stealer, you just have no damage. Like, as you can see, 298 ability power, 14 minutes into the game is nothing. So, I just want to place down my ultimate, just want to proc the Leandries. For now, that's what I want to do. So, yeah, you know, I think I learned from that mistake. So as you can see now, I am actually throwing down ultimates at some really good spots. Boom, boom, look at this. This is all near the Baron. If we fight here, we should guarantee a win. We should. Because they should never be able to survive through my mushrooms. We just have to play it correctly. We just have to play it correctly. By the way, enemies can sweep out your mushrooms. But if you have... Oh, there it is. He literally jumped into a mushroom. You see that? He literally just jumped into a mushroom and he dies. But yeah, if the enemy has a sweeper, first of all, you want to try to keep the enemy away from your mushrooms. Secondly, it really doesn't matter. You're going to put down so many mushrooms that even a sweeper is not going to be able to sweep out everything. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. Apologies for the cut. My food arrived, so... Yeah, I'm gonna edit this video and I'll try to make it good. Oh, that was good. Yes, there it is. This is the start of the late game Teemo. But yeah, apologies for the cut. My food arrived, which I'm gonna eat after this. Game. So you know, when you reach the Rabadon, when you get all these kinds of items, it's like slowly but steadily gonna become strong again. Like I don't want to give you guys wrong information. This sucks. It sucks. Teemo sucks, and this build sucks as well. Everything about Teemo sucks. But if you reach the late game, which very likely you are not because you're gonna get destroyed, but if you reach the late game with this build, oh baby, you are gonna deal so much damage, guys. They are gonna deal so much damage. It's like it's almost broken, the late game only. It's like almost broken because the enemy can still deal with it a little bit if they all go for sweepers. But basically, you're gonna have vision control throughout the entire late game. Like, and you're gonna have vision everywhere, and you're gonna do so much damage. And the vision control is what makes it so good as well. Like, you shouldn't forget about that. Like, that's a very underrated part. So here you can see that I was debating what item to get as my last item. You know, like there's multiple items that I can go for. Adaptive Carapace is actually a good one into this enemy because only Diana deals AP. Look at that! Look at that! Oh, look at that ultimate damage! Look at that! You see that? Did you guys just see that? 2 mushrooms make the entire team at 50% HP. 2 mushrooms, 2. Please tell me you guys saw that. And if you didn't see it, go back into the video because that was insane. And we haven't even reached the very late game yet. This is only 4 items. But you can see how insane it is. Look at that. Oh, look at that damage. The ultimate exploded and dealt like 25% of Akshan's HP. Only the explosion. And now he's dead. I'm going for Ezreal too. Oh, baby, look at that. He's dead. He's just dead. Why is he dead? Because my second ability gives me movement speed. I can easily catch up to him. Look. I can catch up to him. Why? Because Teemo's second ability gives him passive movement speed. Look. Bloop, and he's dead. Yeah. Look at that. Wait, my entire team died. Oh my god. Never mind. Wait, no. We haven't won. Damn. I have to be careful of the Yasuo. I cannot fight him. Like... As you can see, I'm being very, very careful, you know. I'm not gonna go any further because Yasuo is gonna one-shot me. Yet again, because I'm a Teemo. Teemo is useless. You cannot really take a 1 versus 1 like that. You can only surprise the enemy with your third ability. You know, you can surprise their backline, which is the Ezreal, for example. And of course, so let's take a look at what I do here. Okay, my blind. Yeah, did my blind go through? I'm not sure, actually. I throw down my mushrooms. Look. You cannot do anything. I don't really know why I haven't gone for a stasis enchant in this game yet, though. I should have definitely gone for... Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. They must hate their lives from this Teemo, honestly. They must hate it. But I should have gone for a stasis enchant much earlier on in this game, you know, now that I'm reflecting on myself. By the way, I should be very careful here. If Akshan kills me, he will revive all of his allies, so I gotta be a little careful. Boom! Look at my damage, look at my damage. This is the late game Teemo. Boom, boom, he's blinded, he cannot do anything, and he's dead. I need that stasis though. Maybe I'll go for Protobelt actually. Let's see. No, I need a stasis. Please. Don't go for Protobelt. I don't want that I go for Protobelt. It's just not what you should go for. Look at that. If only I show it a little longer how much damage the ultimate deals. I would have loved it if I actually showed it for a little longer. Because I believe it's like 750 burst damage. And then you're also going to do like 500 sustain damage or something like that. It's something like that, but I'm not sure. I hope I show it. Yeah, now like what I'm doing now is just constantly look at the ultimate cooldown, guys. Look at this, look at this, look at this. 8 seconds. It's literally 8 seconds. There we go. Oh my god, now like the map is gonna be full of mushrooms. Look at the map, look at the map, look at how much vision we have on the map. Look at everywhere around the map. There's like 20,000 mushrooms everywhere. Like now they cannot do anything anymore. They literally cannot do anything. The game is just over. We have a Veigar and a Teemo that reached the late game with the build that I have, right? Oh, there we go. Legendary, what a legendary. Yeah. Let's see how much damage I did. Because this build is more often than not gonna do insane damage. So let's take a look at how much damage I did. Do I even have an editing program on this laptop? Oh yeah, I do. Nice. That's good. Let's take a look. 37,000 damage. Me and the Rengar were like hard carrying this game. Oh, apparently I played more. Well, I was actually solo queue, but I was luckily with the Rengar a few times. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.